So we'll be discussing about the item category. Okay, so there will be different kinds of item category. Yesterday we discussed about the sales document type controlling elements. So now we'll be discussing about item category controlling elements. So there are different kinds of item categories: AFN, ASEAN, and TAN. Okay, these three we discussed till now. Okay, there will be different kinds of item category which we'll be discussing in future also. Okay, so now to reach the item category, I'll be getting into SAP. Okay, so I'll go to SPRO, IMG. Okay, then go to sales and distribution, sales document item. Here you can see the define item categories. Okay, these are all like different types of item categories we have in SAP. Okay, so in SAP SD model, and the transaction code which we can use to reach the item category screen is VO V7. VO V7 is a transaction code. Okay, here we have so item category, different kinds of item categories. Let me search for our item categories, whatever we discuss now. So AFN. Okay, so AFN. Okay, inquiry, ASEAN, and you can see TAN also, TAN. Okay, we'll see the
standard item. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So you can see the details here. So this is the AFN for inquiry. I'll go to next one. So ASEAN and TAN for regular item, regular order, you can say. So if you see here, in each item category, there will be so many settings. The settings will be common, but values inside the settings are like differs based on the item category, right? So now we'll be discussing each and every field. Item type. Okay, the first field, like you can see this item type everywhere. Okay, so but the values may get changes based on the item category which will be discussed. Okay, so first one is item category, item type. So item type defines or like it specifies what kind of item it is. What item, like we have like a Safari item, Safari, right, in sales order or inquiry quotation. What type of item it is, whether it is a standard item, value item, or text item. So what do you mean by value item? When I'm talking about the value item, so the material of the item which will be having only value, but it will not be having physical delivery. For example, like the value item like services, right? Services. Right. Okay, so it will be having value. There will not be any physical delivery for the services, right? So there is a value item. Text item. So text item is the item which will be having physical delivery, but there will not be any value. So user manuals. When I'm buying like TV, okay, or whenever I buy refrigerator, we'll be having some manuals inside. So that will be having physical delivery, but there will not be any value for that. Those kind of materials will be called as text item. Now, standard item. So when I say standard item, it can be delivered physically. Our item which we have delivered yesterday, that is Safari, which can be delivered physically, and it can be built also. That means it is like both physically delivered and as well as it will be having value. So that is called as a standard item. So system will define whether the particular item is standard item. Okay, so value item or text item, packaging item. So that will be controlled by item type only. Okay, so as of now, our item is like standard item. If it is blank, then system understand that it is a standard item. That means it can be delivered physically as well as it will be having value also. Okay, so based on this setting only, system understand that. Based on this setting only, system understand that what type of item it is. Okay, so completion rule. Okay, so completion rule, this is a, like you can do some R&D on this field. It's very important. Okay, so when you're practicing, right, just do some R&D on this. By seeing the name itself, you can find it out. Not relevant for completion. Okay, so item is completed with the first reference. Okay, so when I say completion, okay, so whenever we are getting the order with reference to quotation, what is the quantity is mentioned in the quotation? Like for example, okay, so whenever I'm creating the order for, whenever I create the quotation for the Safari, you have mentioned the 10 quantity. But order, I'm creating the 5 quantity. That means still by 5 quantity is open in quotation. Okay, so that kind of scenarios will be controlled from completion rule. Whether the particular item should need to be completed or it is not required to be completed. Okay, that completion rule, okay, will be controlled from this place. Okay, you can do, like, when you're getting the order, right, you can change the setting, you can keep A, B, C, or like, you can do some R&D on that also. Okay, so basically, when you're taking the reference, okay, so how system will behave for the particular item, okay, whether you're going to copy the entire quantity or partial quantity, that will be controlled from here, right? So next, special stock indicator. What do you mean by special stock? Okay, there will be some reservations. Okay, so like Safari, there is a very important dealer for me. Okay, for Safari, for I'm manufacturing cars in my company. Okay, there are some important dealers. I'll reserve the some stock to the some special customers, some important customers. Those kind of materials will be called as a, like, special stock. The materials, like those kind of materials will be called as a, like, special stock. Though, like, what I'll do, I'll keep certain times. So I'll keep my stock at the customer's place. That means company will keep the stock at the customer's place. They'll be billed only when he sells the product. So this kind of reservation or blocked stock, like there will be some damages. Okay, so these kind of materials will be called as a, like, in a special stock. So there will be certain scenarios we'll be discussing in future. So by using this field, we can differentiate whether it is a normal stock, or, like, restricted stock or reserved stock. What kind of, like, stock which will be which can be maintained for this item, that will be controlled from this field. Let's say if you see here, normally we will be using consignment stock. So why we use consignment stock, that will be discussing in further sessions. Okay, stock in transit. Okay, project stock. Okay, so pipeline material, like, what type of stock it is, whether it is unrestricted stock. If it is blank, then I'll understand that it is not a special stock. If I keep W, then system understand that, okay, it is a reserved stock. So consignment stock, nothing but we'll keep certain stock reserves for the particular customer, specific to the customers, right? So anyway, we'll understand later, like when you're discussing about the consignment process. As of now, just remember that. So W means, okay, so system understand that it's a reserved stock or consignment stock. Okay, so now billing relevance. Okay, this field controls whether the particular item is relevant for billing or not. Okay, there will be some, like, text item, right? We were discussing, right? So for text items, we are not required to bill the particular item, right? So here, but how the system will understand that whether the particular item is relevant for billing or not, that will be controlled from this field only. Billing relevance. See here, A means, so if I keep blank, then system understand that it is not relevant for billing. If I keep A, then system understand that it is a delivery related billing. Okay, if I keep B, then system understand that, okay, so particular item is relevant for order related billing. Okay, so what kind of billing it is, whether the particular item is relevant for billing or not, that will be controlled from item category only. Okay, item category, billing relevance field, right? So now billing plan type we don't use normally, so that will be different purpose. So that should be fine. Billing block, so which is very important here. Yesterday we were discussing in sales document type, we have billing block, so where we'll be blocking the entire document. So that means we are not going to build single item when you're using the billing block at the sales document type level. But in item category we have the billing block. So here also we are having the billing block. If by using this field, okay, we can block the single item. We can block the single item for the billing. We'll have like hundreds of materials, 100 materials in a sale, like in a billing document. I want to block only certain materials for the billing. So in that case, we'll use this field, billing block. We can block the billing for the single item. All right. So now pricing, whether the particular item is relevant for pricing or not, that will be controlled from this field. Not all the items are relevant for pricing. Certain times I want to give certain free goods to the customers. Okay, if I buy A product, B material should be free. Okay, if I place the order for only B, it has to be charged. If I place the order for A, along with A, B will be free. So try to understand the logic. But how the system understand that, like, so certain times the material is charged, certain times should not be charged. Let's say if I place the order for A material is 100 rupees or $100. So B material will be given as a free. But there are some customers, he want to purchase only B material. Then it will cost around like $25. So in this case, it is completely free. In this case, they are charging 25. It has to be this price has to be determined automatically. So based on the scenario, the price has to be determined automatically. But how the system understand that this item is free here, this item is charging 25 based on the item category. So in this case, we'll have the different item category determined automatically. In this case, we'll have the different item category. Based on that item category, system understand that whether the particular item is relevant for billing or not, so relevant for pricing or not, that will be controlled from this field. Okay, if it is X, if you see here, so that means item is relevant for pricing. If I keep blank, that means this item is not relevant for pricing. Okay, this is the importance of pricing. So statistical value, revenue recognition, we don't use these things. We'll be using in finance side. We don't require this. And coming to the schedule line allowed. Okay, so whether the particular item is relevant for schedule lines or not. Okay, so we were discussing about yesterday schedule lines, right? So what is schedule lines? Schedule lines are nothing but it specifies. Okay, schedule lines are like it specifies delivery dates, delivery quantity, or confirmed quantity. Okay, if you want to generate the schedule lines, that means whether the particular item is having the specific delivery dates, delivery quantity, or confirmed quantity, then you need to be it should be activated. It should be activated. If it don't activate, that means particular item will not be having the schedule line. That means it will not be having the delivery dates, delivery quantity. Basically, right? Any text item will not have the schedule line. Sorry, any item which is not relevant for delivery, right? Those items, value items, those items will not be having the delivery dates. That means schedule lines will not be activated. Schedule lines will not be generated for the text items or value items, right? So text items will be having the schedule lines sometimes, but value items will not have the physical delivery, right? So
Right.
schedule lines will not be generated for those items. Okay, item relevant for delivery. Okay, so there are some text items or value items. If those items relevant for delivery, then we need to activate the checkbox. Okay, so if we see here, my item is not standard item, my item is like value item. For a value items, you want to create the delivery, then we need to activate the item relevant for checkbox, right? So, but
Okay.
basically, it will be used for only text item, value item. So if those items are relevant for physical delivery, then we'll be using this checkbox. Okay, next one is returns. Okay, returns. Okay, so if we activate the checkbox, then only particular item is relevant for relevant for returns. So not all the items are relevant for returns. Only such specific items are relevant for returns, right? Okay, so then how the system understand that whether the particular item is relevant for return or not? That will be controlled from return checkbox here. If you activate the checkbox, then only system understand that, okay, this is the item which is relevant for returns. Okay, so then we'll be able to create the return order for the particular item. Okay, so weight and value is not required, like credit active. Whether the particular item is relevant for credit check or not. Okay, so then we'll use this checkbox. Okay, so certain times we'll buy certain materials as by paying cash, right? So I mean we have to buy only through cash, right? So those items will not be sold on or will not be given an credit. So how the system understand that whether the particular item is relevant for credit check or not? So then by using this field we can understand that this item is relevant for credit check or not. So that will be controlled from this field. Okay, so determine cost. Okay, so it will be used for cost determination. What is the cost of the particular item? So so we'll be discussing again in BOM materials or free goods. Okay, which we'll be discussing to determine the cost for the free goods. So free goods are it will be free for the customers, not for the company. It will be cost for the company, right? So whether to determine the cost for the particular items or not, for free goods or not, that will be controlled from this field, right? So,
Right.
so these are all rounding rules. Okay, we don't use basically. So these fields are very important. So just try to understand that. Then we have so incompletion procedure. Yesterday we were discussing about the incompletion login sales document type level, right? Header level, if you miss something, okay, certain data, then system will show you pop-up saying that these are the mandatory fields which you are missing. If you don't maintain those fields, it may impact your delivery, it may impact your billing document. The same way, if you miss certain data in item level, then certain level, if you miss certain data in item level, so then system will show you pop-up saying that, so this is the data, these are the fields which are missing in item level. Okay, so anyway, we'll be discussing separately for the item category determination. So partner determination, so as of now it is not required. Text determination also not required here. Okay, so now coming to the so next important field is structured scope, which is very important. Structured scope, which will be used in bill of material. So structured materials, okay, or configurable materials, so or bill of materials. These three are same. When you're using the bill of materials, and yesterday we discussed, right? So computer. So computer is a header item. Computer consists of sub items like components like CPU, monitor, keyboard, right? So those items are sub items. Okay, so any components will be called as sub items. If you want to determine the BOM in sales order while getting the order in SAP, okay, then the structured scope will be used. Okay, what type of bill of material it is? Okay, if you see here, okay, explode single level BOM, bill of material. Single level BOM nothing but a like let's say a computer. For computer, we'll have some sub items like CPU, monitor, keyboard. So this is single level BOM. Okay, if you see here another setting, explode multi-level BOM. So multi-level BOM, nothing but BOM within a BOM. Under CPU again, we'll have like hard disk, right? So then we'll have so RAM, we'll have processor.
Yeah.
So that is called as a multi-level BOM within a BOM, right? So we'll have a computer. Under computer, we'll have CPU. Okay, so under CPU, we'll have different types of sub items again. Okay, BOM within a BOM. Okay, that is called a multi-level BOM. But anyway, we'll be discussing about the BOM concept again after few sessions. Okay, so just try to understand. So this is a controlling element in the item level. Structured scope controls the bill of materials in SAP. Okay, so next very important field here you can see create delivery group. So create delivery group is again it will be used in bill of material. So the main importance of this create delivery group is, let's say I'm placing the order for computer. Okay, CPU can be delivered on one date, let's say so 5th of February, and monitor will be delivered on 10th of February. Keyboard will be delivered on let's say 15th of February. Okay, so here I'm placing the order for computer. I would expect. Okay, so all the sub items need to be delivered. Okay, all the sub items will be delivered at the same date as a computer. If you're delivering each and every sub item on different dates, it won't be good. So because I'm placing the order for computer, it has to be delivered as a computer only. So it should not be delivered as a parts, right? So in this case, okay, if we have multiple delivery dates, so I wanted to have single delivery date, then I want to deliver when all the materials are available on 15th, we can make the delivery for all the sub items, which is called as a computer. So if you want to have the single delivery date for all the sub items, then we can use this field, create delivery group. Okay, if we see the create delivery group here, okay, from delivery with one delivery date, right? From delivery group with one delivery date. So all the sub items, when all the sub items are available, then only we can create the delivery for the particular bill of material, right? That is the importance of delivery group. So if you see here, these are the very important settings in the item category level. So if I do some changes here, my item data in the sales order will get impacted. Okay, so now the main important thing what we need to understand here is how this item category is determining automatically. Whenever I'm creating the order, I'm entering the sales document type IN. Okay, so manually I'm entering sales document type IN, sales document type QT, sales document type OR. So I'm entering it manually. But AFN is coming automatically. I did not enter it automatically. So I did not enter it manually. It is coming automatically. AGN is coming automatically. TAN is coming automatically. How the system is determining the item category automatically into the sales document. So for inquiry it is coming as a AFN, for quotation it is coming as SEN, then order is coming as a TAN, right? So how the item category is getting determined automatically. So that is very important to understand here. Now, so the topic is item category determination. Item category determination. So item category will be determined based on certain combinations. Okay. Whenever I use the word determination, so I told you before also, the determination, whenever I use the word determination, that means very, very important, that combination. So to get the item category automatically, what is the combination we need to maintain? Getting automatically determination, nothing but here. Last time we discussed about the plant determination. Plant is coming automatically. That is called a determination in sales order. Okay, shipping point is coming automatically. So that is called a shipping point determination. The same way, item category is coming automatically. So I'm calling it as shipping point. So item category determination. How the item category is getting determined? What is the criteria for that? That is like I'm going to show now. Okay, so item category determined in sales SAP. Okay, based on certain combination. Okay, so it is a combination of sales document type, plus item category group, plus higher level item category, plus usage. So based on this combination, item category will be determined. Item category will be determined. Okay, so here in our example, sales document type, for example, IN. Sales document type for inquiries IN plus item category group. Item category group which will be coming from material master data. If you remember, like when you're getting the material master data in sales organization 2 tab, we have the item category group which is maintained as a norm. Right? I told you like when you're getting the material master data. So I mean I told you to remember also. So like item category group will be used for the item category determination. If you see the videos, so you'll understand that. Okay, so sales document type is IN and item category group is NOR. And as of now, we don't have the higher level item category. So just keep it blank. I'm keeping it blank. And usage, there is no usage. There will be different scenarios where we'll be using the higher level item category. Basically, higher level item category will be used for bomb materials. So we don't have the bomb material as of now. We did not discuss that. So as that is the reason I'm keeping it as a blank. And usage, like it's a specific program for the determination. We don't have anything now. With this combination, the item category will be maintained. Okay, AFN. That means system, whenever system finds this combination, sales document type is IN, the item category group for the material is norm, then system will determine the AFN automatically. But where do you maintain this combination? That is very important, right? Let me show you that. Item category determination screen. SPRO, IMG, sales and distribution, sales documents, sales document item. Okay, here we can see assign item categories. Just get inside this. Okay, here you can search for go to position, sales document type. What is your sales document type? IN. Item category group is NORM. So this is I'm like why I'm entering NORM is so norm is maintained in the material master data. So that is the reason I'm entering here. There is no usage. There is no high level item category as of now. So we did not come to that stage till so we'll discussing basic item category determination only. In future, we'll be discussing item category, high level item category, as well as usage also. As of now, we can keep it as a blank. So IN as a sales document type and item category group is non. Like search for that. You see here. Okay, so my default item category, if you see here manual, so default item category is AFN. Right. So whenever I'm creating inquiry system searching for this combination, so it is getting satisfied immediately. Item category is coming as a AFN. This is called as the item category determination. The same way for quotation. So any one of you tell me what will be the combination for the quotation? It is a combination of sales document type, item category group, higher level item category plus usage. The same way how we have the so this combination for inquiry, the same way we'll have it for quotation also. So can anyone of you tell me like what will be the combination for the quotation item category determination?
QT plus.
Exactly. QT plus item category group will be norm for my material, and there is no higher level item category. There is no usage. In this combination, we'll have the item category as AGN. Okay, if we see here, I'll search for the sales document type QT. Item category group is NORM. There is no usage. There is no higher level item category. With this combination, so if you see here, so my default item category is AGN. Default item category is AGN. Right? So this is how item category in the quotation is getting determined. Okay, so now the same way for order, what will be the item category determination?
Or
Exactly. OR plus
norm.
norm plus there is no higher level item category, there is no usage is
Is
equal
equal to tan.
tan. Tan. So if I search here, OR plus norm, and there is no usage, there is no higher level item category. In this case, so default item category which is coming as tan, right? So this is how whenever system find whenever getting the order, system will search for this combination. If it is getting satisfied, then default item category tan will be determined automatically. Clear? So this is how item category is determining. And the transaction code for this screen is
Is
V4
it
V4.
is it the item category group is always norm?
No, the changes depends on the scenario.
Okay.
Okay, so now as of now, the material which are created is consist of norm. So I'm treating it as a normal material, but in
Okay.
future there will be different item categories will be using. Okay, so that is a criteria for the determining item category.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
So for normal material, okay, I want to have the normal item category. For different
Yep.
scenario, for bomb material, I want to have the different item category. So then we'll use the different item category. Depends on this, scenario.
Okay.
Okay, so the moment once we change the item category group, then definitely the combination will get changes. Then different item category will get determined, right?
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so this is how item category is getting determined in the sales document, and the transaction code which we use for this is okay. So VO V4 is the transaction code for the determination item category determination. Okay, VO V8 is the sales document type controlling elements. VO V7 is the item category controlling elements, and VO V4 is the item category determination. Okay, so now next I'm moving into schedule line category. Okay, schedule line category. As we discussed yesterday, so schedule line category specifies always the delivery dates and delivery quantity or confirmed quantity. Okay, so how the schedule lines will be controlled by the schedule line category, that we're going to see now. Okay, so let me go to SPRO. IMG. Okay, sales and distribution. Sales documents, schedule lines, the same path, everything so sales document header data, item data. Now we are coming to the schedule line data, schedule lines. Define schedule line category, right? So schedule line category is so we have discussed AT is for inquiry, BN for quotation, CP for order, right? So let me go to settings. See here, if you can see here, there will be so many settings. Okay, so settings will be common, but the values may get changes here, right? So if you see here, the settings in the schedule line categories, first setting is delivery block. If you want to block the deliveries at the schedule line level, that means one item can have multiple deliveries, right? If you want to block the single schedule line, then we can use this field. One header can have multiple items. One item can have multiple schedule lines. Okay, if you want to block the delivery at the schedule line level, then we can use this field, right? Next one is movement type. So movement type, did you heard this word before? Movement type. We discussed. I think when you're posting the stock, right?
PGI.
Not PGI, like, we discussed about the, specific movement type when you're posting the stock. PGI will be discussing now, but so there is a movement type which will be used, right? Like, I think we have discussed MB1C, right? If I go to MB1C.
OMB1C.
Yeah, so MB1C, here, the movement type is here. What is the movement type which we use for stock posting? Any one of you? I think 561 and 561 is the movement type which will be used for stock posting. We had lengthy discussion about this field. Okay, so just try to recall.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so by seeing the old videos, the same way. Okay, so moment type, I think if you remember, so moment type will be used. Okay, if there is any movement of the stock from one place to another place in SAP, we use for specific unique code. So for stock posting, we always use 561 moment type, so that stock will get posted in the unrestricted stock. Same way, whenever we are making the delivery to the customers, okay, then this movement type will be used. So goods will be delivered to the customers from unrestricted stock. Okay, if your goods are delivering the stock for the customers, okay, from the unrestricted stock, then we'll use the movement type as 601. 601 is a movement type. Will be triggered when you do the PGI. So that means, like, if you remember, when you do the PGI, my stock is getting updated from the unrestricted stock because of this movement type only. Okay, my accounting documents are getting posted because of this movement type only. Inventory account is getting posted, right? So because of this movement type only. Okay, so just remember, 561 is the movement type which we discussed during the stock posting, which will be used for posting of the stock. So then 601 movement type will be used for the goods issue.
Delivery.
Right, so it's not exactly delivery, but goods issue. But goods issue, obviously, it will be part of delivery. Okay,
right.
Okay, so next, this order type, item category, account assignment category, these three fields will be used for the third-party sales process. There is a scenario called third-party sales process. Okay, so where the goods will be procured from external vendors. So companies will not manufacture the material internally, right? So that means they'll not manufacture the materials in plant. They'll procure the material from external vendors. So in this case, so we'll create the third-party sales process. We'll use the third-party sales process. In this case, okay, we'll use these three fields. We'll be discussing later. So we don't use as of now. Okay, very, very important field is movement type. Okay, there will be movement types. So many movement types we'll be discussing further. Okay, as of now, we discussed 561 is the movement type and 601 is the movement type. We need to remember, like, definitely, like, if you're going for interviews or if you're going for, like, if you want to be a functional consultant, these things need to be remembered. Okay, so then transfer of requirements. So requirement / assembly, right? So nothing but a transfer of requirements. Okay, and available check. These two checkboxes are activated, which will be used for available check and transfer of requirements. Whether the particular item can be when we can deliver this material to the customers. What is the current stock is available? Okay, what is the open stock? Open deliveries are available. So those calculations will be happening. So only when we activate the checkbox, transfer of requirements as well as available check. Okay, these two checkboxes need to be activated to do the available check for the particular item, whether this material can be delivered to the customers on his requested delivery date or not. That will be calculated based on certain settings. We have separate concept called available check and transfer of requirements. Then we'll be discussing about how these calculations will happen. So if you want to trigger the available check and transfer of requirements, these two checkboxes need to be activated. Right? So these are the important fields which you need to remember at the scheduling category level. All right. So, but how the scheduling category is getting determined automatically? Okay, that is very important to understand here. Right. So now we'll be discussing about the schedule line category determination. Schedule line category determination. So we discussed what are the different types of determinations we discussed till now. We discussed about the plant determination. We discussed about the shipping point determination. So we discussed about the item category determination. Now we are discussing about the schedule line category determination. How the schedule line category will be determined? Okay, that will be discussing here. Scheduling category will be determined always with the combination of item category plus MRP type. So item category will have it at sales order level. For example, tan. Tan is the item category for sales order. And where do you maintain the MRP type? You remember? Where do you maintain the MRP type? I'll show you. If I go to MM02 material master data, MM02 in material master data, I'll select my material.
Sir, Safari is filling.
Yeah. If I go to MRP1 tab, my plant is 301. If you see here, MRP type is PD. Right? So that means this material is relevant for planning. Okay. So MRP type plus, sorry, say item category plus MRP type PD. So with this combination, whenever system finds this combination, then system will determine the item category. Okay. Sorry, scheduling category as CP. The same way for inquiry and quotation also. So item category is AFN. Okay. So plus MRP type. So which will be determined as AFN. Item category ASN plus PD, which will be determined as AT or BM. Okay. So here
Item category plus what is the PD?
MRP type and MRP type.
Okay. Okay.
So if you see here MRP type.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
item category plus MRP type. So which will be determined. Okay, let's say AFN plus MRP type CP.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry, PD is equal to AT. Okay, the same way. Okay, so AGN plus PD is equal to BN. Okay, the same way for normal tan also.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to see the determination how it will happen, just go to SPRO. And one more thing, for scheduling category, the transaction code will be scheduling category Vivo V6. So where is that? Like scheduling category.
OE4, V6, I guess.
Scheduling category. The transaction code is Vivo V6. So Vivo V8 is the sales document type settings. Item category settings is Vivo V7. Scheduling category settings is Vivo V6. Whereas item category determination is Vivo V4. For scheduling category determination is Vivo V5. Okay. Vivo V8, Vivo V7, Vivo V6, Vivo V4, and Vivo V5. Right? Yeah. So I'll go to SPRO. IMG. Sales and distribution. Sales documents, schedule lines. Okay, so here assign schedule line categories. If you see here, item category is TAN and the MRP type is PD. With this combination, we have the scheduling category CP. Right? So this is how default scheduling category is CP. This is how scheduling category is getting determined automatically into the sales document. Right? So with this, we have completed the sales document structures. Okay, so we have completed the sales document structures. Okay, in the sales document structures, we have discussed about like sales document header data, which will be controlled by sales document type, item data will be controlled by the item category, and schedule line data will be controlled by schedule line category, and item category determination and schedule line category determination. Right. So with this, like very important topic okay, before we start any scenarios, right? Further scenarios, we discussed about the very important topics. Like this week, I know we'll get a time, figure a time. Just go through with the like sales document structures once again. We'll have good idea for the further topics. The next topic which we'll be discussing, okay, next session we'll be discussing about the special sales orders. Special sales orders, which is very, very important. Okay, so special sales orders consist of cash sales order, cash sales.
Rush order.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be discussing with the rush orders. Okay, how to configure this cash sales in SAP? How it behaves differently than normal order. So whatever we created, like IN, PT, or like those are like normal regular orders. But these are special sales order, cash sales. How the system will understand that? Okay, so these are cash sales order. How the system will behave when I create this cash sales order? What is the difference between normal order and cash sales? The same way rush order. What do you mean by rush order? What is cash sales? How it makes difference between these two? Okay, how system will understand that it is a rush order and how the determination will happen automatically. So those things we'll be discussing in the further session. Okay, so like I need a complete session for this. We cannot start now. Okay, we'll have discussion about the special sales orders. Once we complete the special sales orders, then we'll start about the complaints. We'll try to complete complaints also next Saturday. Okay.
Right.
So complaints are like very important, where we'll be discussing with the returns, how the returns will be created, how the credit moves will be created, how the debit moves will be created. Okay, so how the free of charge deliveries will happen to the customers when they return the damaged product back to the customers, right? So we'll be returning the material, we'll be replacing the material. Companies will be replacing without charging anything, right? So how it will happen? So that will be discussing in the complaints. Okay, so we'll start, like we'll try to complete these topics in next session. Okay, so before you're coming for the next session, please be prepared, like just go through the videos, whatever we have discussed it now. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions? So anyone of you, మీకు ఏమైనా questions అంటే అడగండి, నాకు ఇంకా 10 minutes time ఉంది, పర్లేదు. Fine then, so we'll catch
Yeah,
up next week. So thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.